As Martin Scorsese said, cinema is a matter of what's in the frame and what's out. Shot composition, therefore, is essential in creating a visually stunning cinematic movie. It's all about balancing different elements within the frame to craft compelling shots. Shot List Series, Part 4, Shot Composition. In our previous episode, we explored 7 basic cinematic camera movements that can elevate the visual appeal of your film. In this episode, we're going into the art of shot composition and how it can make your films more visually compelling when done right. We'll share 7 essential tips that will significantly improve your filmmaking. Make sure to subscribe to Breadfruit Studios and click the notification bell to catch our future episodes. Having done that, let's hit the ground running.
What? I thought you said don't move.
That was before. Now, you run.
Our first tip is the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds breaks your frame into 9 equal parts using 2 horizontal and 2 vertical lines, creating 4 key intersections. Positioning your subject at these intersections naturally captures the viewer's attention, as studies have shown that our eyes are instinctively drawn to these 4 points within the frame. This technique is widely used in Hollywood films, and you'll see it often if you pay attention. For instance, take a look at this scene from Michael Gracie's The Greatest Showman. Observe how the characters are positioned using rule of thirds. This technique makes the scene more cinematic and visually interesting to watch. Now, pay attention to these excerpts from various Hollywood films and see how the rule of thirds is strategically used to enhance their visual appeal. The rule of thirds aren't just for making shots compelling, it's also a powerful storytelling technique. You can achieve this by simply turning on the grid lines on your camera. Most cameras have a built-in rule of thirds overlay, so once you enable it, you'll see the grid lines on your screen. Then, position your subject along these lines to apply the rule of thirds. Balance. Our second tip is balance. A well-balanced frame creates a sense of calm and harmony. If one side of your frame is too busy compared to the other, try adding elements to balance it out, like a lamp or a painting. Take a close look at this scene from Quentin Tarantino's Django Unchained. Dr. Schultz is positioned on one side of the grid, while a large frame is placed on the other side. This creates a sense of calm and balance in the composition. Placing the large frame on the same side as Dr. Schultz or placing 2 frames on either side would make one side of the shot too heavy, resulting in an unbalanced and distracting image, unlike the balanced composition we see here.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
Leading lines. The third tip is leading lines. These are lines within your frame that guide the viewer's eye to the subject or to a specific detail in the frame. Elements like roads, fences, or building edges can serve as leading lines, adding depth and direction to your composition. This is effective in portrait photography and can add a dynamic element to your shots. Leading lines are common in movies and TV shows, helping to direct the audience's focus or indicate movement. In Sebastian Ukwa's Tales of the Browbeaten, leading lines are intentionally used in this scene to guide the audience's attention to the window girl and the large river in front of her as she takes a long walk to drown herself. You can watch this award-winning short film on our channel. Symmetry. If you haven't liked this video, this break is so you can do so. Now please smash the like button, subscribe to Breadfruit Studios, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our future filmmaking episodes like this one. If you have done that, please comment. This tutorial is helpful. Thank you. Symmetry is closely related to balance and is a powerful tool for creating aesthetically pleasing shots. It involves aligning elements on either side of a central axis. Symmetrical shots often evoke feelings of perfection, beauty, and strength. Wes Anderson's films are famous for their symmetrical compositions. Achieving symmetry might just require a slight adjustment of your camera angle, making your shots look more intentional and structured. This leads us to our next tip: headroom and leading room. In shot composition, headroom and leading room are key concepts that contribute to the framing and aesthetic balance of an image or scene. Headroom is simply the space between the top of a subject's head and the top edge of the frame. Proper headroom ensures that the subject is comfortably positioned within the frame without appearing cramped or floating. Too much headroom can make the subject look small or lost, while too little can make the composition feel tight and uncomfortable. To achieve this, keep your character's eye on the top line in the rule of thirds. Leading room, or look room, is the space in front of a subject, or the direction a subject is looking within the frame, either while moving or stationed at a position. This concept is especially important in scenes where the subject is in motion or looking off frame, as it provides visual breathing space and a sense of direction. Proper leading room makes the composition feel balanced and can enhance the narrative by guiding the viewer's eye. Now, there are exceptions to these rules. Like when we need to go tight and tighter on a character, we don't need headroom or lead room. So if you need to break the rules, make sure it is justified.
Ain't nobody on my head, bushwhacker. You let me die? That's murder.
A frame within a frame. This technique involves using elements in your environment, like windows or doorways, to frame your subject, like in this scene from Quentin Tarantino's The Hateful Eight. It adds depth and focus to your composition, making your shots more visually interesting. This method is widely used in films to add an extra layer to the storytelling. In Tales of the Browbeaten, Sebastian Ukwa used this technique to show the trapped state of the window girl as she gazes out at the world through her little wooden window, hoping for a miracle. Depth. Our last tip is depth. Creating depth in your shots helps emphasize your subject and adds a cinematic quality. One of the easiest and most visually appealing ways to do this is to keep your background out of focus and your subject in focus, creating a shallow depth of field. Here are 3 tips to achieve depth. 1. Move your subject away from the background. The more distance between your subject and the background, the easier it is to get that blurry background, creating a nice shallow depth of field. Distancing your subject from the background enhances this effect, making your shots more dynamic and less cluttered. In addition, use lights in your background to produce those lovely bokeh balls. You can also add something in the foreground to create depth, but only when you have to. But placing something interesting in the foreground and shooting through it can enhance depth and make the shot more interesting. 2. Shoot with a low f-stop. A lower f-stop means a wider lens opening, resulting in a shallower depth of field. 3. Choose a camera with a large sensor. Sensor size affects focal length and depth of field. Full-frame sensor cameras generally allow for better shallow depth of field compared to cropped sensor cameras, but it's possible to get great depth of field with both. As you explore and develop your skills in shot composition, you'll start to see how all these techniques come together to create a powerful visual impact. The moment when everything aligns perfectly within the frame is what elevates your films and makes them truly cinematic. Remember to practice these techniques consistently to improve the quality of your videos. Share your results in the comments section below. We can't wait to see how you master shot composition in your videos. Keep shooting and keep creating. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Breadfruit Studios for more filmmaking tips and tricks. Thanks for watching.